Everyone, welcome. Please put your first and last name and your email in the chat so I could take attendance. Today we're going to do another Blookit style review session. So go to the playroom at play.blookit.com and type in the game ID so you can join. And once everyone is joined, I will begin the review session. If you have any questions about anything or anything else, I'll be here after this review game if anyone wants to ask anything. Uh, Let me know if you have trouble joining. Okay, we're waiting for 2 more players. Okay. Oh, someone just joined. So hop onto the game room with this game ID, and then we will begin. Okay, let's start. There's going to be 30 seconds per question. What is the immediate function of the heart? Is it to store blood, filter blood, pump blood, or move lymph? It is to pump the blood. What is the ultimate purpose of the heart? To remove waste, regulate hormones, deliver oxygen to tissues, or circulate hormones. It's to deliver the oxygen to the tissues. Our kidneys remove waste from our bloodstream, not the heart. Which structure helps prevent backflow of blood? Yep, valves. Valves prevent backflow. Nerves have nothing to do with blood flow. Which force also helps maintain one-way blood flow? Capillaries, valves, pressure gradient, or blood pressure? It's the pressure gradient. So arteries, they have a lot of fast-moving blood, a lot of pressure, so it could bring the blood from our heart to the rest of our bodies, which takes a lot of work. Blood pressure, it's a different thing. It is when you have a hose and you put your thumb on it and the water goes from moving like fast to like really fast. That's blood pressure. And especially if you're like working really hard, then the blood pressure will increase. Or if you have clogged, like when your arteries or veins have buildup, like plaque, then it can cause more blood pressure. Pulmonary circulation carries blood to the lungs. Pulmonary means lungs. And that's one type of circulation. Systemic circulation is the other type of circulation. It carries blood where? Yep, to the rest of the body. What is the function of the pericardium? Is it immune defense, sensory, protection, lubrication, anchoring? It's protection and lubrication. It helps protect and lubricate. Which layer is the outermost pericardium? Is it the serous pericardium, the epicardium, parietal layer, or the fibrous pericardium? The fibrous pericardium. Which layer directly touches the heart? Is it the fibrous layer, the visceral layer, parietal layer, or the myocardium? Yes, it's the visceral layer. Fibrous layer is the one furthest from it, like we talked about earlier. Visceral means organ, and that's usually the one next to the organ, so the visceral layer. Where is the pericardial cavity located? Is it outside the pericardium, inside the myocardium, between layers, or within the ventricles? Yep, it's between the layers. In which thoracic region is the heart located? Is it the neck, the thoracic cavity, the pelvic cavity, or the abdominal cavity? Yep, the thoracic cavity. Which vessels carry blood away from the heart? Lymph vessels, arteries, veins, or capillaries? Yep, arteries. Capillaries are where gas exchange occur, while veins does the opposite of arteries. Which vessels carry blood towards the heart? Veins. What is the main function of white blood cells? They fight infection. That's their primary function. They are immune response to foreign pathogens. Chemotaxis refers to what? You could break down the word to their roots. Yeah, it means movement towards chemicals. So chemo, chemicals, taxis. Taxi reminds me of like a taxi car. They're always in movement. Diapedesis refers to what? Diffusion, movement of blood, muscle movement, or movement of white blood cells through vessels. Yep, the movement of white blood cells through the vessels to the site of infection. Which white blood cell is the most abundant? And you could use the acronym Never Let Monkeys Eat Bananas as an acronym to remember the order from the most abundant to least abundant in your body if you match it to the different white blood cells. Neutrophils. Neutrophils is the most abundant in our body. Which white blood cells is involved in allergic reactions? Basophils, neutrophils, lymphocytes, or monocytes? Yep, basophils. Are platelets true cells? No, they are not. They're cell fragments. What is the function of platelets? The clotting, transporting gases, immunity, or oxygen transport. Think about why they're so small. Yeah, they're clotting. Platelets are also called what? They're also called clotting cells, white cells, platelets, thrombocytes. Yeah, they're also called thrombocytes. Platelets originate from, do they originate from red blood cells, the liver, bone marrow, or megakaryocytes? Megakaryocytes. Megakaryocytes are so huge because they break off parts of themselves to make platelets. What is required to form a blood clot? Is it a platelets, red blood cells, calcium only, or fibrin and platelets? Yep, fibrin and platelets. I always think of fibrin as like a fishnet and the platelets as the little things that fill the fishnets to create clotting. What is a reflex? They're like, oh, wow, you have fast reflexes. And it's really silly because they're automatic. Like, you can't really control how fast you move sometimes, but you can train your muscles to have muscle memory. A reflex arc includes what? A receptor and an effector. Are all reflexes monosynaptic? Do they only have one synapse? No, some could have more than one synapse. Do reflexes involve the brain? Think about if they're so fast. I mean, like, the signaling is pretty fast, but in order for reflexes to work, do they go through the brain? Yes, sometimes they do. And sometimes they don't because some needs to be extra fast. Ipsilateral means what? It means the same side. The next one's contralateral. What does contralateral mean? It means the opposite side. Decussate means what? Like when you're left-handed, your right side of your brain is stronger, while you're right-handed, your left side of your brain is stronger, and it's because they cross over the decussate before they reach their brain. Where are somatic motor neuron cell bodies located? The ventral horn. Where are sensory neuron cell bodies located? In the dorsal root ganglia. Where does integration of reflexes occur? Is it the spinal cord, the brain, or the cortex? Yep, the spinal cord. What is the function of spinal nerves? Mixed motor and sensory. They have both sensory nerves and motor nerves. Which structure connects left and right spinal cord? The great commissure connects both. Which brain vesicle becomes the cerebrum? And this is talking about brain development in infants, in the fetus. So not even when they're an infant yet, because as they are forming, telecephalon is the part that becomes. Which brain region develops from the mesencephalon? The midbrain. What is the correct order of the meninges from the furthest away from us to the closest to our brain? The dura, then arachnoid, then the pia layer. What is the function of the meninges? Protection and support for our brain. What are dural sinuses used for? To drain blood. What fills the brain ventricles? Is it cerebrospinal fluid? What is not a function of cerebrospinal fluid? Is it movement, nutrition, cushions the brain, and protection? Yep, movement. All three are functions of cerebrospinal fluid. Only movement is not. Which cells produce cerebrospinal fluid? The ependymal cells. Which cells help form the blood-brain barrier? They kind of look like little hands, like those sticky hands you throw on the wall and they stick. They kind of look like that to me. If you remember seeing a picture of them, they're very impressionable. Yep, astrocytes. What is lymph not composed of? Is it immune cells, bones, lipids, or proteins? Yeah, bones. That would be kind of scary if lymph had bones fragments in it. Where does lymph originate from? Yep, the interstitial fluid. Where does lymph return? Do they return to the small intestines, our toes, our lungs, through venous circulation? Yep, through venous circulation. Why would the lymph go back into our small intestines? We can't really absorb things from it, unfortunately. What is edema? Because it's already been processed and in our body. It is fluid buildup. It's not swelling or inflammation because usually that happens when there's an infection. And so it is just like fluid. It's not causing any redness or inflammation. What prevents edema? Yep, lymphatic drainage. And that can mean just like walking around, doing some like jumping jacks, any kind of movement prevents um, edema or typical cases of edema. Some people do Like when you wear compression socks, that helps too. What's the largest lymphatic vessel? Which cells are part of non-specific immunity? Macrophages and neutrophils. That means they're not picky about who they find and attack and break down. And if you are just joining or rejoining the game, you could re-enter in the chat. I mean, on the chat in the game by going on the website and typing the game ID. What do B cells do? Do they produce hormones, attack bacteria, produce antibodies, or destroy pathogens? They destroy pathogens. What do T cells do? Kill infected cells. What do NK cells do? Kill abnormal cells. Helper T cells recognize what? Specific antigens. Helper T cells activate what? Helper T cells, they always remind me of like librarians. And when they identify a antigen, they go tell the B cells to start like duplicating and like rallying for the battle against that specific pathogen. What type of receptor is on T cells? Is it a specific, a fixed, a general, or a random? Yep, a specific one, because they are specific immunity. What is a pathogen? Okay, if anyone had picked water, I would be a bit confused. But I'm glad you all know what a pathogen is. What is an antigen? Yep, it's a foreign protein. What is an antibody? What is their relationship with antigens? Yep, they're a protein that binds to antigen, either to recognize it or to mark it for attacking. Which vessel type has the highest pressure? We talked about this earlier. I hope you guys remember. It's to get all the blood to all of our organs. It's our arteries. Our veins don't have any pressure at all, which is why the valves are important and moving around is important. Which vessel types have valves? I just said it earlier. Yeah, they are veins. Arteries don't have any valves because they're super pressurized to get the blood flow going. Where does gas exchange occur? Yep, in capillaries. Arteries is just for transporting things. Venules are just smaller veins. What is the function of rods? And we're going into our special senses now. So, like the rods in our eyes, what is their function? Yep, low light vision. What is the function of cones? Our color and detailed vision. Which cells form the optic nerve? The ganglion cells form the optic nerve. What causes the blind spot in our eye? Optic disc. It takes up the space where the rods and cones are, which is why we can't really see anything in that spot. What is special about the fovea centralis? High acuity. What is accommodation? This is like if you're looking for something far away and then you look at something right up your face and your vision is clear both times. That is accommodation. Yep, it's your lens changed to focus. Which fluid maintains eye pressure? That's why they check your eye pressure when you go see the eye doctor. So it's important you go to the eye doctor regularly because they could catch any imbalances. Yep, it's aqueous humor. Which cranial nerve carries smell? Olfactory nerve. Factory. Do olfactory signals pass through the thalamus? No, they do not. What do taste receptors detect? Chemicals. So whenever you eat something salty, your tongue is detecting it through chemicals. The only one of all of the taste profile is spicy. Spicy is just pain. You're just detecting pain. What type of receptors detect light? Photoreceptors. What do maculae detect? Linear acceleration. What do ampullae detect? Rotation. What type of cells detect sound and balance? Are they hair cells, neurons, nerve cells, or basophils? Hair cells. Oh, that was the end of our review session on Blanket. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. And we're also taking notes of the questions you're getting wrong and going back to review them because you do have your midterm due today. So good luck on it. I'll be here if anyone has any question, but make sure your first and last name and your email is in the chat so I could take attendance.